Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 679. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is Tuesday, the 31st of December, 2024, so it's the last day of the year.
It is. See you,
Thought it would be,
2024. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
um, yeah, so we thought we would try and squeeze in one more episode before the end of the year.
Yeah, we've been off for a couple weeks too, which has
hmm
been nice.
Um, it sounds like you're spinning. Are you spinning?
I am spinning.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
always spinning now. I am doing Jillian Marino's 100-Day Stash Down. Which is all the details for that are on her Patreon, which is linked in our show notes, which are on the Knit Girls with 3Ls.com. And I am trying to get I do love a random
Imaginary
goal.
goals. Yep.
Like it is just what works for me. I
hmm
understand, and it is a competition against myself, and it is 100% like this is me. So I really, because I have had the last week and a half off, yeah, I've really wanted to try to get 4 pounds spun for the entirety of December.
Okay.
Like
How
that,
many pounds did you go into the week and a half off with? Like
um,
before,
2.5.
okay, so you needed another pound and a half.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think I've got it. I am applying. I started applying last night, a bunch of stuff up. And then of course I washed it last night and it's still super duper wet and I washed some this
Hmm.
morning. So I don't have it to show, but I'll show it next week.
Yeah.
But I also had some stuff I was trying to get done. Like I told my friend Becca that I would spin for her to do that cardigan that you did.
Pressed
Um
flowers.
Yes, press flowers. So I was trying to get that done before I sent her Christmas package to her. Spoiler, that did not happen. But I will send that separate along with some other goodies. But yeah, I've just been a spinning fool. So my knitting is not that significant, but I do have two things on the needles. The first is a hat that I am working on. This is me kind of space it out a little. So this is the Slipped Ridge hat by Woolly Wormhead, and I'm knitting it. It's a DK weight yarn, and I'm knitting it on size 3 needles. It's a Woolly Wormhead pattern. It's not super complicated. I have this much of this hand spun left. I know this is Into the World hand spun that I spun, but I can and I'm pretty sure it's Cordale, but I cannot tell you the colorway name. I'm pretty sure it was a club. Um, so that is gaining a little bit of ground. It's just a beanie, so not slouch at all. And it's going to go to one of my coworkers. So that is happening. And then the other thing that I am about to pick back up is I had finished the yarn I needed for Layla last month,
Mm. Yeah.
but because of holiday knitting, I did not restart that. So what I have going on with that, this is a cardigan, and thank goodness I have stitch stoppers at the end. My little dinos. Um, so I have the fronts both done, and I'm working on the back. That's where I left off. So here's the back, and I've just got to get it like that much further, maybe. So I should definitely have enough yarn now. Well, actually, that much further. So
Mm. About
there's the
6 inches.
front. Um, so yep, and then it switches over to the commercial yarn, which is Modern Daily Knitting's Atlas. It's a Rambouillet, and it's lovely to work with. And then it will get a collar and a big, um, like
Button
large,
band kind of thing.
yeah, kind of. And then it will also get sleeves, like short sleeves. It's a layering piece.
Hmm.
Um, so that is going to start being worked on. Again, I'm knitting that on size 4 needles. So a smidge of work, hopefully, to get done on that and finish that up off. That's living in my hide and hammer giant bag because it is a giant piece of knitting. It will be over a pound of yarn by the time I'm done, probably. So,
Yeah,
but it's a 3 ply. I think actually it's a worsted, and that's why I'm knitting on size fours. And it's just a significant amount of knitting. It's going
yeah,
to be a longer layering piece to wear to work. So that is the plan for my knitting for the rest of my time off. But because I am kind of chill right now and it not really going much, like I got 4 stitches done on the hat while I was waiting for Kroger pickup today.
hmm,
Um, I don't foresee me doing a lot of knitting progress because I'm very much into the spinning right now.
yeah,
But it's nice to also knit up hand spun if you are even a newer spinner or advanced spinner. I always recommend knitting up your hand spun so you can see what's happening with it. Um, so yeah, that is it for me for knitting. I need to get a pair of socks on the needles for my waiting around knitting.
hmm,
Um, but I knit several pairs of socks for Christmas,
yeah,
and I just need to get some other stuff done because I'm not going anywhere. This is like what, the Twix week where it's between
hmm. New
um
Year's and Christmas.
yeah, and I'll be going back to work soon, but until that happens, I am just going to do all the spinning all the time. But you are knitting on a bunch of stuff. What are you knitting on?
Um, so I am knitting on the Mount Pleasant tee, which is a short sleeve cropped sweater by Pip and Pin. And it's like,
Ooh, pretty. It's knit
so
from the
now,
bottom up, right?
correct.
Okay.
You're supposed to use a smaller size needle to knit the lace. Totally didn't do that because I forgot. So I swatched because the gauge is for the stockinette part.
Yeah.
So once I swatched and got the right size, I just cast on and totally missed that I was supposed to go down a needle size.
I think
And
it'll
didn't,
be fine.
yeah, didn't realize it until I was almost done with the lace. And I'm like, this is just what it's going to be.
I think you can
So,
block it to, if you need your sweater a little bit longer, you could block it down.
hmm,
So maybe think about making the sweater shorter. I mean, you can block it on the needles.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna put about 3 inches worth of work into this, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's fingering weight yarn on size, I think, fives,
I love the
sixes.
fact that you're knitting fingering weight on a larger size than I'm knitting worsted.
Yeah, this is a 6, so it's a 4 millimeter needle. Um, but it's just slow and not exciting. But like, I want the finished thing, so it's
I
just
just
not.
love knitting stockinette in the round.
Hmm. I
Like
do
that's
too for the most
my
part,
jam.
but sometimes I just get tired of it, get bored of it, and want something else. Which sort of goes into what I'm cast on, which was the Owltopus.
Yeah, the Lauren Elkin pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It was a secret knit.
It was a mystery knit, and it finished sometime earlier this month, I think. And once I saw the finished thing, I was like, oh, that would come in really handy on a farm because it's a hood with a cowl attached and
Yeah.
looks very warm.
She also has a non-brioche version that just
She
came out.
does. Like,
Yeah.
she can make it, you can make it um, more or less difficult. So you
Ooh,
start with the Jenny's Magic, or Jenny's, the cast on you use for toes. What is that called?
that's
It's
not
like a
Jenny.
figure eight.
Now you have the Jenny stuck in my head.
Yeah,
Judy's magic cast on.
Judy's. There you go. Thank you. Um, and then you do this like patterned feather and fan kind of.
Oh,
I'm
pretty.
using two of my SSK skeins.
Lucky.
So
Oh,
one of them was a skein that I bought, and one of them was a skein I took off of the Free to a Good Home table. But that counts because it's still yarn that came home with me. So it is cesium in the, that's this pink,
yeah, that's pretty. I like their
and that
yarns a lot.
this is truffle shuffle.
Of course it is.
And then this is Legacy Fiber Arts in the colorway First Snow, and it's sparkly. So it's like mostly white with like hints of pink and blue.
Pretty. And the
Uh,
cowls in DK weight, is that correct? So you're using the fingering weight
yes,
doubled? Okay.
correct. Um, so I got the hood done. So this hood is clue one and clue two. This part is clue three. And
Br-
then for clue four, yeah, this is brioche. For clue four, you can either keep this plain like brioche, or you can do the spicier version, which is like
Yeah.
a sort of a fan. And as I was trying to decide which one to do, I looked at the inside and realized I've got ladders right here.
But that's the inside. Is it flipping up?
It's flipping up, so that'll be visible.
Oh.
So um, I'll have to. It's from the join, like the beginning of round. So it's that I've had the yarn in the wrong place when I was starting the round. So I'm gonna have to drop that down and fix it because it'll make me crazy. Um, which is not like a deal breaker. I've had to frog enough brioche that I have a relatively good idea of how to do it, and there's lots of videos. And these yarns are different enough that it's easy to differentiate which strand is which,
Yeah.
because that's really one of the more confusing parts. But luckily, this is two color brioche, so I'll have to drop that row down so that I can fix these
Ooh, I got a
um,
new brioche book, and I wonder if it's
ladders.
got fixing mistakes in there.
I don't know.
I'll have to look.
But I wanted to show that it totally wasn't an excuse to not work on this. Um, I was like, I'll just show that I make mistakes too, all the time, like all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely don't read patterns. Like, I am not the shiny example of how you should do things. Um, let's see.
I mean, you're human. That's loud.
Last time I checked, um, and you have finished things, but you've given your finished things
Yeah.
away
So I
already.
finished the hat out of Fabu Fiber, Fabu Yarn Company that I knit.
Mm-hmm.
It was the from the Salt and Timber book, which I ended up buying. She's got a new book coming out soon, I think, too. So that was the
Hmm.
Firewood Cap. And I got pick. You want to get a knitter to knit you more stuff? Send pictures of their needlings with their little hats on. It's very,
Mm-hmm.
very cute. So those all arrived, and I got great pictures, but I'm not going to post them because they are not my children.
Right.
And then I also finished my socks for my brother-in-law. So, and I used almost every inch of that Regia yarn. So
Oh,
there was a point where
wow.
I thought I was going to run out, but I did not. The cuffs were like over 6 inches long. So
Wow.
that was a lot of knitting, and my brother-in-law was super appreciative. He loves his hand knit socks. So, those got gifted as well, and I just did not take any pictures. And I was like the driver for most of my trip. I
Hmm.
did ride in the back when we went to Duluth Trading Co. And a very cool, if you're in the Knoxville area, there is a bakery, like it used to be like a commercial bakery that they turned into like an indoor food truck type area. And now I can't remember the name of it, but it was so cool. We went there and there's so many different options. There's Cuban food, macaroons,
Hmm.
boba tea, pizza, burgers, all sorts of food, and it was all delicious. I got a root beer float and a white pizza because I do love a good white pizza. You don't get
Hmm.
them very often in the South.
Yeah.
So, we went there after Duluth and then rolled around downtown Knoxville and had a good old time. I do love Knoxville is just such a fun town.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, did not get a lot of knitting because I was driving a whole bunch and going to Dollywood. I mean, I should have taken knitting to Dollywood for the lines, but
Yeah.
did not even think about that.
I am shocked you did not have knitting with you.
I didn't
Um,
even take my book bag to Dollywood. I took my
oh,
license and a credit card and my keys in my pocket and my phone, and that was it.
wow.
So I felt very, if people know me in real life, I carry a book bag everywhere. It is my bag of holding, and
It
there
typically gets its own seat at restaurants.
it
Like,
does. It needs its own seat at restaurants. It goes underneath me a lot, but yeah, but I was just having so much fun and being present in the moment.
yeah,
So, not a ton of knitting done for me, and what did get finished got gifted right away.
yeah.
'Tis the season, so, but you have a finished object, if not two.
I have a couple. So Laura and I we do what we call a fail along every month for our patrons. Patrons are the people who support us on Patreon. Patreon is a website where you can pledge to support your favorite artists by agreeing to contribute, a dollar, $2, whatever, for every post, or for in our case, it's every episode.
Yep, and some people do
Um,
monthly.
hmm
The Fat Squirrels on there, Aja Barber, Hunter
Right. So
Anderson.
there's lots of options for ways you can support
Yeah,
people. If you're interested, it's not just podcasters, it's musicians, drag queens, comedians,
people doing all sorts of creative work.
songwriters. Yeah, like
Yeah,
just all tons and tons of people on there. So it's a good option if you're looking for ways to support people directly. But we do a fail along every month where we try a new craft. And this month it was diamond art. So you see the paintings made with little tiny stones. But we didn't want to do something as big as like a huge picture. We wanted something much, much smaller because
some of us didn't get anything done.
our fail alongs are only a couple of hours. So we got these coasters, and I've linked them on our show notes. We just got some from Amazon, but I mean, all different places have all different kinds of stuff. So there are these coasters, and they have little numbers in the circles, and those numbers correspond to like a color of stone. Oh, here we go. I've got everything in a bag,
Look at you,
but
so organized.
they're all like labeled with the number,
Yeah.
and like a special little pen and some wax to help you stick things. So I did one during the fail along, and then I did one during our BKN, which is another thing that we do for our patrons.
And what you were doing yesterday.
Yep. Um, so sorry, one of the little things came off. Must not have stuck it very well. So this one is fruit. I think Laura did snowflakes. She was working on snowflakes.
Oop, hold on. Me. Yep.
Yeah. Um, so I've got 10 more fruit to do. And coasters are a thing that I need and don't have. So,
Really?
yeah. So I will probably continue to just sort of chip away at these.
I think I use
Um,
all my swatches as coasters, so I
yeah.
have quite a number.
That's a good use for
Yeah.
swatches. And then I decided to make a snood for an old pit bull puppy. So it's got little
Oh,
bear ears
that's very cute.
and it goes over their neck. And I have a picture.
Oh, now
Is
that's
she not?
crochet, correct?
This is crochet, correct? And the pattern is called the dog bear snood or bear dog snood. I don't know. Um, but she is the cutest thing ever in her little snood, and she likes it. um, I'm thinking about making her one that's got Highland cow horns as well.
Obviously.
But the
What yarn did you use and what hook?
um, it was a big hook. The 6 millimeter. I have a set of these red ones, and I think they're tulip. And the yarn was like Red Heart, Super Saver, something like that. It was an acrylic
Good
that I
news.
got.
It's washable for
Yeah,
dog.
absolutely. Yeah, no like hand spun for a dog that, lives in a house with other puppies who will use it as a way to control, like grab a hold of it to try to move around.
Uh-oh.
But she was a very good sport, and she kept it on for a little while, and then she just stared at me until I took it off. So
Oh.
she's like, all right. So yeah, that's basically all my crafting. Oh, but I do have some spinning. I finished my
Ooh.
hand spun.
Yay, I can't wait to see.
So this is light bright.
Oh, how pretty.
So I chain plied it. I spun it as a single and then chain plied and I wrote down what I got, but I can't find the tag. But it was somewhere in the 400 yard neighborhood, like almost
Nice.
400 yards. So um, it is very neons
Love it.
and rich colors. I think it might be fun as a yoke, but
Yeah.
we'll see because it's around a DK worsted weight.
Yeah.
So that would be
Perfect.
fun. But yeah, that's the first thing I've spun in ages.
But you got some new fiber, right? You went to a yarn shop.
I went to two yarn shops.
Where'd you
So
go?
I went to ooh, Fox River Fibers, Fox something. Um, hmm, it's the one that our friend Elena works at because I ran into
Oh,
her.
Starnuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, because I texted you, but I can't remember what it was.
I don't think you told me the name of it in the text.
Oh, I'm looking through the text to see, and it's all pictures of Laura and Jude at Dollywood being adorable.
And, Jude is pretty adorable.
Um, yeah, so I'm pretty sure it was Fiber Fox, something
Okay.
in Wisconsin. I got some fiber there. Um, one of them was from our friend Helena, who does Oink Pigments, and the colorway was "Does a Bear Knit in the Woods?" And I was like, "Yep, I need that." Um, and then yesterday I stopped by Unraveled in downtown Racine,
Okay.
which was really cute and had lots of little kits and stuff. A nice selection of like big name companies like Barocco and then smaller indie dyers. Same for, oh God, now I've got to look that yarn shop up because I feel like such a jerk because they were so nice. Everybody there was really nice. Um, uh, is that it? Yes, okay. Fox River Fibers in Big Bend, Wisconsin.
Cool.
Um, yeah, and that was also a really great shop. Everybody was really. I happened to walk in the one day a month where it's like open knit,
Oh,
and it
fun.
was so full of people. Um, but they had some really nice stuff that I hadn't seen in other places before, so it was nice to stop by and see a friendly face. So,
Yeah. So you got some fiber there. What did you get? Did you get anything at the other place in Racine?
um, yes, I got a set of minis and
Ooh.
by a company called Coats and something. I think it must be a local to them dyer. I'll try to remember to bring it next week to show. And then a couple of like stickers and stuff
Cute.
um, that they had. Did you go to any
Nope.
yarn or fiber?
Nope.
No?
I did not.
Okay.
Instead, I ordered online. I have some woolly winder bobbins for my woolly yang coming.
Okay.
So that's exciting.
It is
And
exciting.
I didn't get any knitting or spinning stuff for Christmas. So,
Oh,
yep.
what did you get for Christmas?
I got some Birkenstocks
Mm.
and a bunch of board games. And I love having my mom always is wonderful, and she always has a theme with Christmas presents.
Oh.
So last year the theme was like organic beans and stuff. We all got that. And we always get like socks. I am of the age that I get very excited to get new socks. So this year's theme was Birkenstock. She was upset because everyone else has arrived but Jude's.
Of course.
So I'm going to take his to him when we see him in March. And then socks, of course, but fire blankets. So now I have a fire blanket to keep in my
Oh.
kitchen, like the ones that go over, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, and my brother and sister-in-law, or my sister and brother-in-law, rewind, reverse it, got me a board game, and I'm very excited. It's Homestar Runner based.
Oh, nice.
Super stoked for that. And just like lots of fun stuff. So lots of Kinder eggs from Jude,
Mm.
which I'm very excited about.
You are always excited about those.
Yep. And yeah, just lots of cool stuff. My mom did give me her copy of Eldon Amos because I never had a copy. Um,
Mhm.
so she gave me her autographed copy of that book.
Very
Um,
fancy.
I know. It's autographed by Stephanie Gastad, who did
Hmm.
the illustrations.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's the only like fiber adjacent thing I got. But
but you've been spinning, right?
yeah, I've been spinning quite a bit. In fact, I found a super old whip. I've also been like cleaning out the stash a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I found some Moon River fiber that apparently I
Oh,
started spinning probably in 2009, 2010, and just did one bobbin. So I'm gonna finish this up.
that
Um,
should be interesting.
yeah, it should be. That twist is way dormant, so we'll see what happens. So I found that I'm gonna start on that again later today. While I was at my parents', I spun the SSK Fiber Pool minis.
Oh, wow.
So that is 6.5 ounces, and that is all plied. It does need a bath. It was so much that I could not fit it all on my mom's. I was playing on her Hanson, and this
Hmm.
is all I was having to hand wind. So this little bit had to go separate. But yeah, super fun. It was really peachy when I was like looking at the fiber, but you can't tell that at all.
Yeah.
For those of you who are new to the podcast, I do not prefer the color peach. Other things that I spun at my parents' house, the wheel that I brought was my Martin because it's a little box. It's by Daedalus. Um, but I could only find 3 bobbins. I have 5, so I don't know where the other 2 are, which is really, really irritating. And they also look kind of similar to the Sparrow.
Yeah.
So also very irritating. I need to mark them in some way, probably
Mm.
some tape on them, to remind me which wheel they belong to. I like to put tape, like washi tape on the core of my bobbins if
Hmm.
they're similar bobbins, so I can identify which goes with which wheel easily. But this is Hello Yarn in the Wood Smoke colorway on merino. So I spun 3 bobbins of this. The other one's still in the Martin case, and that will be plied soon. And then I just finished my Lord Berrywinkle from Hip Strings. So I have 8 ounces of that supply.
Hmm.
That is a 50% merino wool, 35% Shetland, 10% Tussas silk, and 5% merino. I also finished the hip string base 12. That's actually what's being plied right now.
Okay.
So that is being plied. Um, I plied some Kim Dye's yarn and some Hello yarn and some Bricolage Studio, and that is all drying. So I will show that to y'all next week.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I've
So
got
much
lots
spending.
of things to ply. Yeah, the Hello Yarn's 12 ounces that I plied.
Yeah.
So, a good bit of spinning. Yeah, I've been enjoying when I've been watching hockey. I've been spinning instead of knitting.
Hmm.
So, I have not missed a day yet of Jillian's 100 days. So I've been spinning at least probably 15 minutes a night, if not more. Do tend to get obsessive with things.
Yeah.
Welcome to my
Yes.
world. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see what it ends up being at midnight tonight. But I'll be up after midnight because where I live in Mississippi is a big fireworks area,
Yeah. And
and
Pearl, the dog, does not love them.
she does not. So I will be medicating her, but also she'll still freak out.
Hmm.
So I was kind of hoping it would rain. It rained last year, and that curtailed the fireworks a little bit. But maybe it'll be good. I'll get them over with maybe in one day versus like 5 days like last year.
No,
But I don't think it's going to
no.
because starting tomorrow there will be fireworks sales in the tents.
Hmm.
So, all the things. But yeah, I think that's it for me for spinning. I have Knit Spin Farm still on the wheel to spin as well to finish up her bat fence. And I'm just really enjoying the Jillian's Patreon. I always enjoy her Patreon. But you've been
Hmm.
playing some games on the Switch. What have you been playing?
Well, I've really only been playing the one Mario and Luigi Brothership, and I haven't been playing it a ton, just kind of off and on. I'll play it for a couple hours every 2 or 3 days, but that is time that I'm not knitting or spinning or
And
crocheting
not
or
all time has to be productive time. Yeah.
yeah. The patriarchy and capitalism disagrees. Um,
Yeah,
but
I'm not
yeah.
on board with them.
Breaking news. So yeah, I've been playing some of that, and then I'm re-listening to the Innkeeper series
Oh, that's a good one.
for, I don't know, fifth, sixth time. I just really like that series a lot. I like most all Alana Andrews books. Um, but it gets dark here at like 4:15, and there's so much dark. Like I just needed like a cozy,
Yeah.
reliably I don't want to say uplifting, but like, because it's not
You know how it
necessarily uplifting.
ends. It's
Right.
just, it's a cozy reread for you.
Yes, there we go. A cozy reread is an excellent way to describe it. So, what about you?
I am listening to You Can't Spell Treason Without T, which is an adult female fantasy. Super cute if people like what is that one? Lattes and Legends. I
Hmm.
think that this would also be a pretty good one. I had tried reading it before, but could not keep the characters straight in my head. So I tried it again on my way to my parents' house until I picked up Jude.
Right.
So I am around 7 hours in now and just zooming right along. It's due in like 3 days. So
Mm.
that's spinning time as well, right there.
Yeah.
Um, I'm probably gonna go back to the Kate Daniels series again pretty soon. Although I do have a newer book that I downloaded from Libby, which is where I love getting my books. that is through public library systems. I also really love Libro FM. So if you're looking for some good places to purchase audiobooks, I highly recommend them. They do not sponsor the show. I wish they would. But Hurricane Wars is next up.
Hmm.
And you can see that expires very soon as well. So that's like 17 hours. Um,
You
so
like living on the edge.
I do. The good thing about library books is I can always put them back on hold.
Hmm.
So that is what I have been reading. Just haven't had a ton of time for reading.
Yeah.
But hanging out with family, being present is really, really fun. So been doing a lot of that. Um, but yeah,
Um, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. What about
SSK
you?
vendors, we're sending the email out soon.
Yes.
Just be patient with us. It's just
Yes.
holidays.
Yeah. And people on the SSK waitlist, will be picking from that soon. We've already had several people who've had to drop, and then as the payment deposit deadline comes, which I think is the middle of January, then we'll have more people who will drop. That's just the way that it goes.
Yeah,
Life happens. We totally get that. So we'll be pulling more people from the waitlist at that point as well. So um, I think that's all I got.
cool.
So we hope you've had restful holidays if you celebrated, and we will see you next year.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.